Greetings of the day, children. A very warm welcome to each one of you to the virtual session of science, children. Let us see what are we going to have in this virtual session of science. So let us continue with the chapter respiration in organism, part 2. Let us see what are we going to learn in this session. We are going to learn about breathing. As we have seen cellular respiration, we have seen the aerobic respiration, anaerobic respiration, we have seen the word equations and why do we respire and what happen in respiration, why do we need to respire, all that concept we have learned in the previous session. So in this session we are going to learn about breathing, and you should know respiration and breathing is altogether two different processes. So you should not be confused between the two process. They are not the same process, but they are interrelated process, but they are two different processes. So let us see what is breathing. We have seen cellular respiration, how cells respire, and we are going to see now breathing, and we are going to see the differences between breathing and respiration. So breathing can be defined as a process in which organisms, with the help of their respiratory organs, take in the oxygen rich air present in the surrounding and release out air that contains high amount of carbon dioxide in it. Breathing occurs continuously in the organism. So in all living organism, we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. So when you do that physical exercise, breathe in and breathe out, it is inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. That is the process of breathing, nothing else. So it is just a simple words. If you want to explain, it is breathing in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide gas. That is the breathing process. Very simple. I hope this process of breathing is very clear. So just a inhalation of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide, that process, the total process is called as breathing. And when we do the physical exercise of breathe in and breathe out, we do exhale carbon dioxide and inhale oxygen. Please do maintain your notebook, children. Write all the important points mentioned for you. So inhalation is the process of taking the air that contains oxygen inside the body. So when we breathe in, that means we are inhaling, we are taking in oxygen because that is required for the cellular activities, for the cellular respiration, as you have studied about it. Whereas exhalation is the process of releasing out air that contains carbon dioxide out of the body. So as you know, exhalation is giving out of your carbon dioxide out of the body. That is the exhalation process. So here you will define inhalation and exhalation. Inhalation and exhalation takes place alternately in the breathing process. So when you are inhaling, you are exhaling at the same time. That process is continuous in living organism, and they takes place alternatively. That means you breathe in and then breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, like that. So it is an alternate process. I hope this is clear. So let us go for next. What is breathing rate? Since it is a process, alternate process of breathing in oxygen, that means inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. So this has some speed at which at some space it will go on in the body. As you have a heart rate, the heart beats, you all know that if the heartbeat stop, a person would die, a living organism would die. So as you have the pulse rate or the heartbeat rate, similarly you have a breathing rate, because it is again a process in the body which is very important. So let us learn about breathing rate. Breathing rate can be defined as the number of times a person breathes in a minute. So it is a number of times we inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide. So that is one process, that how many times it takes place in 1 minute, that is the breathing rate. So altogether inhalation and exhalation in 1 minute, how many times we do that process, that is breathing rate. A breath can be defined as an inhalation followed by exhalation. So as I told you, when you are breathing, both the process goes alternatively. So one single breath when you are taking, it is inhalation and exhalation together. The breathing rate is not always constant in human beings. We generally breathe faster when our body needs more energy, for example while exercising. This is so because the body needs more oxygen that can break down the food and produce more energy, because when you are doing physical activity, you are too much involved or engaged in too much of physical exercise, then the energy requirement of the body is more, and at that time you require to breathe in more oxygen so that the breaking down of the food will be more and you will get more energy. An average adult human being breathe, it's breathe actually, children, just make a correction there. An average human being breathe 15 to 18 times in a minute. So 15 to 18 times in a minute we breathe, and while exercising this rate can change up to 25 times a minute. So you can see the difference. Normally we breathe 15 to 18 times in a minute, but when we do lots of physical activities, that time the breathing rate will go up, it will rise, and it will be somewhere around 25 times a minute. That means our energy requirement is more that time. I hope this concept is very clear, children. So here you can see a breathing process. On the left hand side you will see the breathing process. The breathing is with the help of the nose, you take in oxygen and you breathe out carbon dioxide. That is breathing. That is inhalation of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide. Does that process, that simple process is breathing. So lungs is the organ in the body which help us to do this process of inhalation of oxygen and exhalation of carbon dioxide. So please see the image on the left hand side, that is a breathing. And then we will see the cellular respiration, and you will see the relation between breathing and cellular respiration. Though breathing and respiration both are two different processes, but there is some relation between them. So here this image will give you a clear idea about the breathing and cellular respiration and how they are related. So when you are breathing in oxygen, that is taken up by the lungs, and that will go to the cells in your body. In the cells in your body you will have cell organelle, that is mitochondria. This cellular organelle, that is mitochondria, present in the cell, where you have different organelles present in the cell, different small bodies present in the cell. Mitochondria is the one responsible for the generation of energy from glucose. That's why please see that here mitochondria is involved. On the right hand side, see the diagram of the cells. When you eat food, you get glucose, and that means digestion of the food will give you glucose that goes in the cells. And in the cells, what happens? Mitochondria, that cellular part, that is the cellular organelle, will break down this glucose into water vapor, energy, and carbon dioxide gas is released. So you can see the relation between breathing and cellular process. Both goes hand in hand. The breathing process is important for the cellular respiration. If breathing is stopped, cellular respiration will stop and the living organism will die. So breathing is the inhalation and exhalation of the oxygen, inhalation and exhalation of carbon dioxide, and lungs helps to do this process, whereas this oxygen from the lungs will go to the various cells in the body, and then the cellular respiration takes place. So this is the relation between breathing and cellular respiration. Though they are two different processes, well defined processes, but they go hand in hand. When breathing will stop, cellular respiration will automatically stop. I hope this concept of breathing and cellular respiration, the comparison, the relation is clear with you all children. So let us see breathing and respiration. We will have a comparative study. You have to make the table. You continue to write because you have one more slide where this table will continue. So when you are comparing, we have parameters of comparison. So under that parameter, we are going to have comparative study about breathing and respiration. So first parameter is definition. So how you define breathing? Breathing involves inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. Whereas when you define respiration, it involves the process wherein the oxygen is used to break the glucose into energy to be later used by the cells of the body. So here you can easily see the differences between them in the definition itself. Parameter, again, it is used by breathing happens in the lungs, whereas respiration takes place in the cells of the body. So used by means where it takes place. So breathing will takes place in the lungs, whereas cellular respiration takes place in the cells of the body. Under the parameter of process, breathing is a physical process, just taking in oxygen, giving out carbon dioxide. That is just a physical process. Whereas respiration is basically a chemical process, because the food, that is glucose, is broken down into some other substances. That's why it involves chemical change. That is a chemical process. Whereas parameter of energy says during breathing there is no energy production. So it is just inhalation and exhalation process. Whereas energy criteria, if you take respiration, energy is produced during respiration process in the form of ATP. Capital A, capital T and capital P. That is adenine triphosphate. You need not know the full form of that energy. Just write ATP is a form of energy. It's an energy molecule which gives energy to the cells. That much you should know. I hope you all have made the table. As you can see on the screen, please make 3 columns, and under parameters you are going to compare breathing and respiration. Let us go for the next. You are going to continue the table. Parameters of comparison, cells. So breathing, it is extracellular process and it takes place outside the cells. As you all know, it is just the inhalation and exhalation by the lungs. So it is an extracellular activity, that means outside the cell. Whereas respiration, if you take the criteria of cells, respiration basically intracellular process that takes place in the cells. So respiration is actually the cellular process. Let us see the criteria of enzymes. Breathing, not in use at the time of breathing. So enzymes are not used in the time of breathing. Whereas respiration process requires large number of enzymes. So enzymes are used in large numbers during respiration, because they are the ones which will enhance the process of respiration, because respiration takes place in the cells. And if you see parameter of the organs which are involved, let us see breathing. Breathing happens due to the nose and lungs. So you are taking in oxygen with the help of the nose, and the lungs will take up the process of inhalation and exhalation. And respiration, if you see what the organs involved, cells, mitochondria, you know the cells involved, the mitochondria, that is the cell organelles, carry out the process of respiration. So I hope the comparative study between breathing and respiration under this given parameter, all these parameters should be taken into account, and I hope this is very clear with you all. And extremely important, children, please do make the table. Why do we feel hungry after doing a physical activity like walking or running? So let us have some concept based question here. Since you have learned about breathing and respiration, there are some important questions to be addressed. Since we have done that concept, let us see why do we feel hungry. It is related to the concept we have learned. So when we do physical activity, the food that is present in a body is converted into energy. Since all the food gets consumed in generating the energy, we start feeling hungry. So when you do lots of physical exercise, or you do an activity which requires lots of involvement of your mental activity, or your thought process, or you require to wreck your mind for this, that glucose is being used up continuously. So it is not only physical activity. When you do lots of studies, or when you do lots of activities which involve your mind, then also you require energy. So that time you feel very hungry, and you continuously study, you do continuously do some work where you require your mind to get involved, your brain to get involved. then you feel hungry very often. Because energy requirement is more that time. Hence, in order to gain more energy, we need to eat more food. I hope this question and answer is clear. So here we come to an end of the session, children. I hope you enjoyed the session, children. Please do write all the important points mentioned in the virtual session for you all. Thank you, children, and have a great day.